Hey guys, what is happening YouTube? Thank you guys for tuning in. You are tuned into Rules for Rebels. This is episode 80 of Side Hustle Tuesdays, part of our weekly side hustling series. In this series, each week we tell the true story of a real-life entrepreneur or side hustler who's managed to create a money-making venture outside of their 9-to-5 job. And we try to keep these stories very relatable, things that any of us could do. These side hustles are started outside of a 9-to-5 job with limited to no money, and with skills and equipment that the side hustler already has at their disposal. So we try to keep these things very relatable and things that any one of us could kind of copy or replicate. Today's story is about a couple who found a way to incorporate two of their passions into a company they created which makes travel and adventure backpacks and day packs. One issue or topic this story brings to mind is one I was actually just recently going to make a YouTube video about, and it's a topic of whether you should follow your passion when creating a business. I think this is a fascinating topic, and you basically have two schools of thought when it comes to this. Mark Cuban, for example, is very against following your passion. He says don't follow your passion, follow what you're good at, and you'll wind up not only being successful, but enjoying what you do because we enjoy things that we succeed at and are good at. Also, he says you're not always going to be good at the things you're passionate about, nor is there necessarily going to be a market for things you're passionate about. He often jokes that he's passionate about basketball, but you're not going to see him dunking over LeBron James anytime soon. I would argue, however, that in content-heavy businesses and businesses that require a lot of content marketing and social engagement, it's actually incredibly important to follow your passion. Gary Vee says that every company today is a media company, and I think that's very true. As someone who's done e-commerce shops, affiliate marketing, and created a lot of content, I can tell you this. I've created blogs and YouTube channels about boring topics I have no passion about, such as car insurance, life insurance, mesothelioma attorneys, etc. And it's a real slug trying to create content and stay engaged. It's incredibly boring, and typically I wind up burning out because I get no enjoyment from the project. On the flip side, when I create a blog, a YouTube channel, social media account surrounding a topic I'm passionate about, or a hobby I like doing and engaging in anyways, it's actually very easy to create content because you're basically just documenting stuff that you're doing anyways. So with all that said, I guess you have to look at what type of business you're running. If it's something that's content heavy to drive traffic and interest, you may want to consider following one of your passions. I'm curious to hear from you guys. For your projects, your businesses, are they something you have a passion for, or are they just a business to you? What's your thoughts on this debate as well? Should people follow their passions? Drop a comment in the comment section below and let us know what you think. Now, getting back to today's story, Kelly Belknap was working as a full-time Lyft and Uber driver in Denver when he met Matilda Sandstrom, a nanny. They shared a passion for traveling, which led them into a relationship, which led them to travel together, and eventually led them to get married and go on an around-the-world backpacking trip. During their travels, they saw a lot of hardship and a lot of families struggling with homelessness and hunger. While traveling in Slovakia, they met a family of 2 parents and 3 children. A year earlier, they had a house and were doing fine. However, due to life issues, they lost their house and were forced out onto the streets. This really opened up the couple's eyes, and something they began doing during their travels was preparing meals in the hostels that they stayed and passing them out to needy people they came across on the streets. They continued doing this even after returning home to Denver. Now, Matilda was originally from Sweden, and she and Kelly still spent about 3 months out of the year there. This is another interesting part of their story in regards to where they came up with business ideas. Kelly, being a foreigner, noticed something that Matilda had never noticed during their visits to Sweden. He noticed Scandinavians love backpacks. Not only for their function, but they almost use backpacks as part of their style and fashion to express themselves. To them, it was almost an accessory. Kelly and Matilda decided they wanted to bring this idea to the States and to people across the world. In addition to making fashionable and functional backpacks, they also wanted to keep the price down. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of these online travel backpacks online that are $150, $200, even $300 for a friggin' backpack. But they wanted to do something different. They wanted to keep their backpack affordable. So one weekend they sat down and decided to flesh out their ideas. They focused on the design as well as what features they wanted their backpack to have, such as a laptop sleeve, water bottle holder, etc. Matilda's background in interior design helped with the drawings and mock-ups and coming up with the exact measurements. They got all this done in about a weekend, and they wound up sending their designs to a handful of suppliers from China, which they had found through the website Alibaba. A few weeks later, the backpacks arrived, and according to Kelly and Matilda, all but one of them were laughable at best. They decided to go with that supplier. They tweaked a few of the design elements and the measurements, and eventually wound up with the backpack that they currently sell today on their Shopify store. Their idea took off. People seem to love their affordable backpacks, which combine both function and style, a bit of that rustic Colorado style mixed with that minimalistic Scandinavian style. And since their launch, they have provided 13,000 meals, gotten into 23 retail stores, and are making about $2,500 a month. For every backpack they sell, they donate 25 meals to people and families in need. Now, this part of the story is interesting as well. I see a lot of people trying to mix charity with business. Tom's Shoes succeeded in it, and a few other companies, but I often see smaller Shopify stores trying to do the same thing, and a lot of times it comes off as scammy or forced. A lot of times people aren't very clear about how much of their profits are going to be donated to charity. I also think Kelly and Matilda were smart about saying 25 meals. That's something very concrete. Not only do you know exactly what your purchase is providing, but 25 meals tells me I fed 25 people, whereas saying something like 10% of profits goes to charity, it just isn't as concrete and it's harder to wrap your head around. How much good are you actually doing exactly? The business initially started with a $4,000 loan from Kelly's parents. With the success they had early on, they quickly paid that back, and a year in, their profits are about $2,500 per month. Expenses for the production of the backpack, as well as the meals they provide with each purchase, comes to about $35, leaving about $25 profit per bag. They don't do as much paid advertising, which helps keep costs low. They do most of their customer acquisition through Instagram and influencer marketing, which helps drive traffic and sales and also provide social proof. I think here's where the passion part comes in. Kelly and Matilda still love to travel and still travel a lot, and when traveling they take cool pictures of their backpacks in interesting places. Matilda attributes their success to both creating interesting content as well as actually engaging with their audience. She says too many brands are always on sell, sell, sell mode and talk at their customers, whereas she actually engages with them and treats them more like friends. Kelly and Matilda's goals moving forward are to provide 30,000 meals to the homeless and needy and to be stocked in 40 retail stores. They would also love to come up with some new product lines. Right now they have a day pack, and their next product line is going to be some type of adventure bag series. Anyhow, congrats to these guys. They figured out how to create a successful money-making business while helping people and following their passions. Well, guys, that's today's story. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were inspired. And until next time, this is Rules for Rebels and Side Hustle Tuesdays signing out.